It's time for new products.
Okay.
Yeah.
First up.
Stick to engineering. All right, we've got these little speakers. I really like these oval speakers. We had them in the longer cable, and now they just come in a shorter cable. They're about a watt. They're 8 ohms. We have a couple products now that have a Molex, a 1 millimeter pitch connector. I can't remember the exact name of the connector off the top of my head. It's in the product, but it mates really nicely with them, and it clicks in. It's solid connection, and if one of our products has this connector, like I think the Prop Maker wing has it, the Halo wing has it, the Pi Portal has it, the Pi Badge has it. This little speaker has a shorter wire, so it's the same speaker with the sticky tape, but shorter.
I sense a theme.
Also, shorter wire version. It's actually kind of for the Pi Badge, to be honest, because for the I'll even have a Pi Badge, and I'll show it off. We have these small batteries. They're 350 and 420 milliamp hours a piece, and they fit very nicely on the back of our Pi Badges or Pi Gamers.
We have 2 types.
Yes, 2 sizes. You know, it kind of depends which one you want. One's a little bit more expensive, one's a little bit smaller. And I'll show both the speaker and battery on the Pi Badge. So you've got your Pi Badge here, and you're like, hey, I want a battery, and see this like slot here? Well, this fits really nicely in there, so you can plug this in like so, and then you have double-sided sticky tape, and then you've got your, well, my sticky tape is not sticky anymore, but you can tape it in place, and then you know, you can play. This is a Gambrino meta game, but you can have that, and now you see no wires. And then you're like, well, what if I want a louder speaker? That's when you would get this little mini speaker right here, and you see this got that Molex connector here. You plug it in. It's always kind of fun to do live. And then you can remove this tape on the back. There's tape on both sides, so you can use either. And then you can just stick it right over the oval. And there you go. So now you've got portable with speaker gaming. So you're good to go. Oh no, a wild piggy appears. So we got, this is the 420, and then I'll show, it's like exactly the right size, and then the 350 is just a little bit shorter. So this one fits a little bit better in the Pi Gamer, and this one is a little bit larger, fits on the back of the Pi Badge.
Okay.
Okay, biggie.
Next up.
Horns. So this is really cool. Kind of an obvious. Someone actually emailed and said, hey, you know, I like your servos, but the problem is I glued the servo horns onto my projects and my robots, and then I have to buy a whole new servo, or like if I run out of horns. So this is a horn kit for our standard and micro servos, and it's just the plastic bits. And so you can recycle the expensive motor part and just, or if you lose the horns, you can just you know, replace them with these, or you can permanently attach them without having to worry about like, oh no, I ran out of horns, because it only comes with a couple. So we have them for standard and micro servo.
Okay. Next up.
Okay, we got these inserts. These are really nice lathed brass inserts for plastic. They're kind of what the people like the most for if you are 3D printing and you want to heat set these inserts. We have the heat set inserts themselves, as well as the tip that goes into a soldering iron. And here is a lovely demo showing you heat up the iron, and then you melt it in, and then when it cools off, if you look at the insert detail on the next image, you see those little grooves. Those like lock in and keep it from twisting in place. So these are very fancy. You get a pack of 50. There's 3 millimeter tall and 4 millimeter tall, so pick whichever one you want.
Okay.
Both are M3.
Next up.
More servo accessories. We've got everything for servo. So this is a micro servo to Lego cross piece adapter, which I think is kind of handy. So one thing that you notice if you do Lego stuff is there isn't really there's a motor, but I don't think there's a servo item. So if you want to use low cost micro servos, you can do so, and I can show that off on the overhead. Super easy. You get this micro servo, like it works best with this SG92. You can also use it with the metal gear, but it doesn't, it can slide, it fits, but it doesn't press fit. So you'd have to use a screw to attach it. So we recommend the SG92. And then you get this cross hole here that fits standard Lego cross pieces of any size and shape. You fit that in, and then now your servo can twist a gear. So maybe handy for making your Lego projects mechatronic. You can control this with a CircuitPython, a microcontroller, Raspberry Pi, whatever, and you don't have to worry about how to glue or attach the cross piece or to the horn or something. It's a very elegant way of connecting the two. So that's the adapter.
All right, next up, and while the code was Excamera, this is why.
Ooh.
Why the code was Excamera.
Yes, these are some lovely driver boards from Excamera, whose design is like really great hardware. These are very affordable and very powerful. I kind of think of them as a graphical bus pirate. A lot of people like the bus pirate.
That's a good way to describe it.
Yeah, they're specialized, but they're really good at what they do. So this is the I2C one. So one thing that's cool is the I2C driver board itself doesn't have a lot of brains to it. It can run the display, and it can take commands over the USB port. So you actually shows up the serial port and use Python to control it. So there is a computer attached to it, and then you can do commands like I2C scanning, or start a write, or end a write, or send or receive data. So for example here, this is a demo of me, I think, sending data to I2C address 10 hex. So you can see that 10 is highlighted on the display, and it shows the stop, the yellow stop circle, as well as hex data and which direction it's moving in, and then actually shows you the waveform on the bottom. You connect up to 3 items to it. And then
another one.
There's another one, the matching one, the SPIDriver, which can control a single SPI device. Similar, you use Python to control it. And I actually have the live demo, and I'll show it because it's kind of fun. And one of the examples is controlling these 1.8-inch TFT displays over SPI. So if you want to do very fast iteration development of Python without having to have hardware controlled, hardware connected up and worry about like, oh, can I see the data coming on from the MISO line, or is the chip select actually toggling, and how much current is drawn? This is a very handy tool. So I can show the live demo of the SPIDriver. So I have my laptop.
How do you want to do this?
I'm gonna have it like this. No.
Over the overhead?
I just pick it up. So this is the SPIDriver, and yeah, you have to wire up the power and ground and the SPI pins. And I'll connect this to the computer, and then on my computer I have a Python script I'm going to run. So it comes up like this. It just says nothing's happening. And then I'm going to run this script that will connect over the serial port and upload an image to the ST7735. And you see, as it's transmitting data, you can see all the bytes going by, and look at how it's so beautiful. You can see the chip select and the AB, which is the reset and DC lines going back and forth. And over here you can see Grace Hopper. So let's try doing this with the display vision. So you can see it's drawing it live. So very handy tool, very powerful. Really like this. I think there's definitely something to be said about test equipment, having the right test tools. So I think if you don't want, you want something graphical, you want something like a Bus Pirate, but maybe not as expensive as a Sele. They're also amazing, but sometimes out of people's budgets. These are like 20, 30 bucks. And they're, super great for I2C and SPI, and really clearly designed by someone who uses these chips all the time. So all the things they thought of are there. And that's new products.